All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Vigil Agency Team Zoom on Tuesday. This is technically the last day of March, but the first one for April because we are in the cemetery month. We are on session 4 of the 24-hour champion with the author Darshan Shanti. So Darshan was posing a really important question, so go for it, Darshan.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here once again, Michael. This is an honor and a privilege. So, the question I'm asking to begin this is, have you all ever done something to break a habit, whatever it was? Stop smoking, stop eating badly, get in shape, whatever the habit was, but you did it for the wrong reason. You did it because other people wanted you to do it. You did it because whatever, maybe you even thought it was the right thing to do. Is there anybody that can give me an example of that?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the first time I lost a bunch of weight, um, it was because my doctor irritated me and told me that, you couldn't do this. And it was when I had gone on a run. It was like 2018. I had gone on a run of I was drinking like 4 or 5 regular 20-ounce Red Bulls a day.
Wow.
And it messed with my liver enzymes and my A1C like was out of whack. And she said, "What the hell did you do since your last, checkup?" And I said, we got into an argument about it. And she said, the fact that your blood pressure's low and is good, and you don't need pills for that. She goes, "You're fat. That's going to catch up to you one day." And I just kind of looked at her, and I'm like, "Okay, you're kind of portly yourself, but we won't get into that." And I said, "I'll come back in 6 months and let's see what it looks like." And I went on a tear and I stopped drinking Red Bull cold turkey, which was actually harder than I thought, um, because I was kind of living on them. And I lost, I think it was 65 pounds or 67 pounds in 6 months, which probably wasn't
I
the
can
healthiest way
only
to do
see
it.
the top of your face because you're driving, but
Oh, yeah, there.
you look thinner already in
Yeah.
our conversation. I'm not talking about Red Bulls. So
Yeah.
congrats. I know you've been working it out. And that's a great example. Anybody else have anything that they've done because somebody thought they should do it?
Yeah, I have one. So in college, throughout college, I was dating this one girl, and it was a pretty abusive relationship, going back and forth, breaking up, not breaking up. And I had a really bad kind of self-body image. And now I've realized what she was into was just really skinny guys. And I wasn't overweight or anything, but I was a little bit bigger of a guy. So I would work out for hours and hours each day in college. Really, really rough, kind of would starve myself and stuff. And I got in good shape, but it was definitely for the wrong reasons. And it definitely taught me, okay, hey, you got to take a step back and realize, hey, are you doing this for yourself or for someone else? And that's kind of just clicked right now.
I'm really glad. I had no idea this question was going to get asked until I just sat and meditated a little bit before we started. And I bring that up too about my journey. I had lost weight before. I'd done all these other things before, but it was for the wrong reason. It was to look good. That's not why you do it. It was to get approval from other people. Hey, congrats. That's not why you do it. The point that I'm making is, and why I'm keep showing my shirt, love yourself first, is that's why you do it. That's why you do everything, because you love yourself. This whole program I'm doing now to change my weight, quote unquote, my way of life, is because I love myself, because I honor myself, because I cherish myself, because I value myself, because I respect myself. That's the whole point. Loving yourself is the foundation of every single thing you do in your life, whether it's personal or professional. Symmetry, obviously, why you're in the business. why you're helping people. When you love yourself, it is absolutely amazing. Chuck, without me divulging anything about our conversation, it was so deep and so profound what you shared about your family. I'll just say family, you can share whatever if you want. But clearly, that's the whole point. Chuck, when you love yourself as much as you love your family, when you all love yourselves as much as you love the people that you love the most, that's when everything begins to change, and fast. I mean, real fast. And it's easy. In other words, you're not doing it in order to fix something, in order to please someone, in order to prove someone wrong. You're doing it because you love yourself. Does that make sense?
Sure does.
Brenda, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all very true. And I know majority of most people always do things for what's the word I'm looking for? Like approval of others. And so you always think of what other people are going to say or do or think versus like how you're saying, like what it really does for you as the person doing it.
Yes. And you are the most important thing in your life. Without you, nothing else. Even if you had 12 kids, you're the hub. They're the spokes. And you're the one that's holding them all together. And that's the point, whether it's a relationship, like a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever it is, kids, it doesn't matter, work relationships. It's all about you taking care of you and loving and honoring yourself and realizing, like we talked about with the pinky exercise, that you are priceless, not worth less. That's the whole point about loving yourself. I cannot stress that more. And so many people go into their adulthood hating themselves or disliking themselves if it doesn't go as far as hate because of their childhood. And they carry that with them. And that's where all the I'm not good enough stuff comes from. And that's where they give up on themselves. And that's where they sell themselves short. And that's where they don't do the business like they could or like they could. Or when the going gets tough, it's why they quit. When the phone calls get too tough, when people ghost them too much, they're just like, whatever. And they somehow personalize it when it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Obviously, if you have somebody on the phone saying, I'll be there, I'll see you at 4, and then you never hear from them again, that has nothing to do with you. That's their own unworthiness. Do you ever think about this, folks? Maybe some of them don't even believe they're worth having insurance. You'll ever think about that? They don't even value themselves enough or their family members enough. That's why love is the foundation. Literally, again, I move the screen down, loving yourself first. It is everything. Any more thoughts come to you since I brought that up, since I said more about it?
I mean, for me, you're speaking like right to me the last few weeks. I've definitely not been loving myself, not feeling like I've been worthy of attending this group because I'm not in the right mindset. So I literally wrote down, don't personalize stuff. So yeah, I appreciate that. It was the kick I needed right now.
Well, I'll give you more of a kick if you're willing to work with me.
Of course, yes.
That's not so. Are you willing to be open and really give it 100%?
Yeah, 100%. I think part of it is a battle with depression with it, which is difficult to overcome at some points. But I think I'm 100% yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I'm glad you actually said the word depression. Hold on, I'm letting it I'm letting the information, I call it download, and I'm processing it like what's coming. That will go away when you start loving yourself completely, 100%, when you start realizing your worth. Will you, because you were here like the first week, I think, then you hadn't been here. Did you do the pinky exercise?
I did, yeah. That was I still
What
think
was
about that.
what was your pinky worth?
I gave up my pinky, I think, for $1 million, but then there was no more past that. I was like, I'm
There was
willing
no
to.
more. So,
Yeah.
and if just was it the whole pinky or just the tip right here?
I think some other people didn't want to give up for
No,
anything, so I got
yours,
to
just
a yeah,
yours.
I know. I gave up my whole pinky.
The whole pinky for 1 million and
Yeah.
nothing else. And the question I asked at the end was, or if I didn't, I apologize because I'm a little tired, so I don't remember fully. If just your pinky is worth $1 million, then Brooks, how much is the rest of you worth?
I can't even do that math right now. It's still too early, but a lot. Yeah.
Well, how much is a lot?
Priceless. I forget.
Priceless.
Yeah.
But do you really believe that?
I honestly lately no.
No.
I did
So
when we did the
you're,
exercise, but yeah, I've definitely slipped
I
off
got
now.
it. But so two things. First of all, you said you're priceless. I didn't.
Yeah.
So if you want to argue with yourself, that doesn't make too much sense now, does it?
Yeah, I can see that now.
All right, that's number two. Number three, look, whatever beliefs you're buying into, how old are you?
28.
28. So whatever beliefs you're buying into are a lie. When you see the lie for what it is, that's what chapter 1 in my book was all about, helping you see the lie and then rebuild yourself as a conscious adult without the 5-year-old making decisions. So obviously stuff happened to you when you were younger, like all of us. We've all had it. And then that parks itself in your unconscious, and then it becomes your way of life. It becomes a survival mechanism because you don't want that stuff to happen. Like as a kid, you don't have the reasoning ability or the capacity to think otherwise. And so that you look to your parents and elders, they know it all. They've been here longer. They got to know. So if they tell you you're stupid or to shut up or whatever, that goes in your unconscious and parks itself there. And you believe it because they know the rules. They've been around a long time. Does that make sense,
Yeah, 100%.
Brooks? Is there anything you can think of that happened to you?
Um, so I'll kind of just get into with symmetry. I joined back in November and I have not started. I think part of it is a fear, and I think a lot of it came from my last job. I was in tech sales and I just did things a little differently than everyone else. I did not like cold calling. And the CEO, everyone just pretty much told me I was really bad at sales. I'm not good. And that has definitely just stuck with me. And my first day calling for Symmetry, the very first call, I took it personally. And I've just bottled both of those entities together. And I just get like sick to my stomach. So
I think that's beautiful. So you're making it mean something about you by taking it personally.
exactly. Yeah.
So folks, we talked about this a while back. I call it proof, proof, poof. Let me explain what that means. You have a negative belief about yourself that you're not good enough, that you're unworthy. Is there any other word or phrase that fits that for you?
Um, Uncapable, I guess.
That's good. I like that. Uncapable. So that's your version of I'm not good enough. My version was I'm useless, unnecessary, and a throwaway. That was mine. All right. So, by the way, if I still believe that, do you think I could be on this call? No, that's what I'm saying. When you recognize the BS for what it is, and if the BS is based in bullshit, it's directing your life now. All right, great. So you take it personally. So here's proof, proof, proof. So you have a belief that you're incapable or incapable. There's other words too. Again, not good enough, unworthy, all of those, right? So if someone shoots you down on a call, so you have internal proof that you're not, I'm pointing to my chest, internal proof that you're not good enough, then they validate it. Your bosses did, the people hanging up on you, whatever it is, they validate that you're not good enough. So that's internal proof, and the external proof validates it. And then when the internal proof and the external proof meet, how bad does that feel?
Validating.
Very bad.
What, Brooks?
Someone else said validating. I'm not sure who it was, but yeah, it doesn't feel good.
No, it go a little deeper.
Um, so the outside proof hits the inside. It to me, I guess it just kind of I take it as more proof that I am not worth it, I guess you could say.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
Yeah.
Folks, and I'm looking at the I'm not looking at you, Brooks, but it looks like I am because I'm
Yeah.
looking at the camera. I'm hoping everybody's paying attention. Nobody wants what he just said. That's where call reluctance and all the fears come in because they don't want their internal beliefs about themselves validated. Because that's where the poof comes from, means it gets so bad that you joined Symmetry, you said in October?
October, November.
Okay, so November, December, January, February, March. It's the end of March. We'll just call it 5 months. And you haven't done anything because you're avoiding that which you think is true. And what you think is true is bullshit. It's not. You're incredible, amazing, awesome, fabulous, terrific, tremendous, spectacular, stupendous. God didn't make any mistakes. You are perfect in your imperfection. Whatever beliefs you're holding on to, and we can talk about them off this call if you'd like. Whatever beliefs you're holding on to are going to dictate the actions you take and don't take for years and years and years to come. Hey, if you think 5 months is a long time, try 50 years. And you're 78 sitting on a rocking chair going, I wish I would have. Look, what's the worst thing that would happen if you made calls and 50 people hung up on you?
They hang up on me. Yeah, that's it. From a realistic standpoint,
Yes.
that's all that happens. No one's gonna shoot me. No one's gonna
No, you're right.
whatever.
But you still haven't made those calls.
Yeah.
So what's the worst thing? What do you believe will happen to you?
I think the worst thing I'm doing is missing opportunities. I mean, this is such a great company to work for. The opportunities are endless. You literally can make whatever life you want. This is from everything I've read in years past, this is like my dream job that I found. It's right in front of me, and those belief systems are not letting me take advantage of it. And that's one of those opportunities that's gonna, when I'm 70, be like, why didn't I do that? So
There you go. So that's why I'm asking you that question. You're in the perfect place, the perfect job, with the perfect team, people who care. Michael had enough, wherewithal within him to say, hey, why don't you do this? This isn't your average everyday call. This isn't about rah rah sis boom ba. This is changing your own mind about who you are. And once you do that, your change is permanent. This is about really creating a brand new foundation on which you can launch the rest of your life from, so that you're not ruled by those beliefs and those blocks and those barriers, so that you're in charge, not them. That's what this is about. So why I asked you if you made those calls, yes, logically, nothing would happen. But somehow inside, you don't want to make those calls because what do you believe would happen?
I think personally, so another, one of my past experiences, I used to work in luxury hospitality, and it was perfection or nothing. So no person left not happy. Like, it had to be 100% So then even going to my last sales job, when someone wouldn't buy, it was like, ugh, I took it as an offense that I couldn't make it happen. So I think partially with this too, even just seeing like the close rates, which are great. We're lucky that we have the ability to buy leads and are able to see exactly what those are. For me, mentally, it's still hard that I'm like, I have to go through this many no's to get a yes. And I think I take each no as me personally doing something wrong.
That's what I'm
Um,
asking. What are you doing wrong when you hear a no?
I, I've only heard one no really, so
Oh, well,
I can't really
and that,
say. Yeah, I don't have the data
what
there.
are you
So
afraid will happen if people say no to you? You
uh,
notice I've asked the same question about 8 different times.
yeah, I honestly, there's probably nothing's gonna happen, and
In reality, nothing will happen, but that's not what's going on up here for you.
yeah, I think I'm spinning my wheels right now on
I will. We can chat about it offline if you'd like. Because here's the thing, and this is for everybody. First of all, the word no, every salesperson has heard it bazillions of times. And of course, it doesn't matter about these little phrases I'm going to say. You got to hear tons of no's, and the most successful people in the world have heard the most no's, and no's are the key to success. It's all BS if you're making no personal. It can't go anywhere if you're believing that. Same thing about like your lady and the whole perfection thing, by the way. I'm so glad you said that, because if you do something wrong because you weren't perfect, what does that mean about you?
I'm taking that as you're imperfect as a whole. Like you can't.
Okay, so if you're not perfect, what does that mean?
I guess myself, it's kind of like going back to the worthlessness, you know?
Gotcha. So there it is. Proof, proof, proof. And when here's proof. When not just you, Brooks, but everybody knows, whoever it is, whatever internal beliefs you have are validated externally, and you know they're true. Is life worth living?
Can you repeat that one more time?
When you have your internal beliefs validated by the external, proof and poof. I mean,
Yeah.
proof. So proof internal is validated by the external. And then you know beyond the shadow of a doubt, you can't fake it anymore. You can't run from it. You know that you are worthless, that you are incapable, that you are not perfect or imperfect. And then what happens? What's the point? Because who
There's
wants to
no
live life as a worthless, incapable, imperfect person?
nobody.
Nobody. That's poof. Poof. It's like I gave up. It's all over. Did y'all hear that? Let's take the heat off of you for a second. Chuck, did you hear that?
Mhm.
Did it
Yes,
resonate at all? Did you feel any of that?
yes, it definitely resonates. I mean,
Good.
it's very applies directly to me, obviously, too.
I appreciate you saying that. I wish, and I'm looking right at it's hard to look at the damn light, the camera, because the light shines right in my eye. Folks, if I could snap my fingers and make you love yourselves, for those of you who have kids, you know how much you love them. And if I could snap my fingers and give you that gift, it is the freedom, it is the foundation, it is every single thing you have ever wanted is on the other side of you, not is on the other side. However, I need to say it, I'm a little tired, sorry. The other side of you not doing it is the other side of you doing it, and that's where it all lies. Everything. You love yourself so much. You can't wait to give yourself a hug. If you've ever had a partner and you've looked at them with those beautiful, loving eyes, you love them so much. And when you love yourself like that, that's how I feel about people I take care of. That's how I feel about you guys, because I can love myself so much. I can love you all that much. And therefore, you guys can love your clients that much. And it won't even matter. God himself, herself, itself, themselves could come down and not sell insurance to somebody. You can't convince people who don't want it. But when you're coming from a place of love, it'll be so much better, not just for them, but for you. Do y'all feel that? Whoever wants to chime in.
Well, and I think, Meredith and one of the founders is always big on that about making sure, like you said, like you love yourself first, because no matter what you do, you are the stemming start of anything that you do moving forward. So if you're not in a position or in a place to do so, then anything moving forward is going to be irrelevant because you're starting with nothing.
It's a good way to put it. And anything you do won't even last. You can do things. That's why we started this. Do you do things for the wrong reasons? If you're doing something for somebody else or to piss off somebody else or to prove somebody else wrong, it's going to go away. Your performance will not outlive your self-esteem for very long. Self-esteem basically is how you feel about yourself. And it's the same thing. Guys, love, it's so what look, we've all had tough times. I had a rough childhood. As I told everybody in the intro, I was not popular. I was picked on, abused. I was the misfit who didn't fit in with the misfits. I didn't feel comfortable. I wasn't happy in my own home. I was hungry all the time. That's where I gained weight from, because I could just eat when I got older. And I just never really could see it. And whatever, I was always losing whatever. Now it's completely changed. The whole point that I'm making is, it doesn't matter if it takes you 5 minutes, 5 weeks, 5 days, 5 years, but the sooner you do it, the better your life will be in every way conceivable. The more money you'll make, the more a growth you'll have, the better your relationships will be. Everything changes when you do this without any, so here's the thing, back to you, Brooks. For any reason you believe you're incapable, here's how a way you can deal with that, or I'm unworthy. When you go to make a phone call, which you have only done one, but when you think of it's fine, there's nothing. I know I'm smiling.
No, I'm fine. It's the reality. You're good.
It's funny, not funny, but it's just, whatever. Here's the thing. When you go to make a phone call and immediately, where do you feel it? Do you feel it like regret or like in your chest? Where do you feel it?
Yeah, I feel it in my chest, which then makes it hard to have the right tonality, with
Right.
not sound like a salesperson. Like I feel like I'm out of breath. I feel like I've just ran a mile. So immediately I start talking like, "Hi, is John there?" Which is
No, it's stupid,
boom,
right? I got it. It's not going to
So
get you anywhere.
yeah.
It's fear is what it's, and what is fear? There's all these acronyms. Um, uh, Here's a couple I came up with. Foolish ego altering reality. There's another cute one. Forget everything and run. Feelings escalated, anticipating reality. So what is fear? Fear is just you realizing the crap that you believe about yourself is true. You don't want to feel that, because if you feel it, it's poof. So that's what fear of failure is. You take it personally, right? I'm not a failure. My actions might have failed. When you can get to that, you're free, because it has nothing to do with you unless you're conscious of it like you are now and still don't make phone calls and still don't do anything. Well, then if you don't read the book, do the work, and do all this other stuff, then you're now consciously, you can, because those beliefs. It's got nothing to do with it. Nobody can cut you open, Brooks, and find incapable, can they? No, so where does
No.
incapable live?
In our heads, our
In whose
ego,
head?
my own.
So it lies between your ears, right?
Hmm.
Anything that's in there. And if you believe that, by the way, and what is a belief? It's just a thought that you keep repeating over and over and over and over and over again. If you tell anything to yourself dozens, hundreds of times a day, you're going to begin to believe it.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a key way to break a habit too. If you smoke, tell yourself 200 times a day, I'm a non-smoker while you're inhaling each cigarette. You'll stop smoking. Because if you're a non-smoker, why would you smoke?
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it.
You just
It's
say it
kind of like
over.
when people say with your goals and whatnot, to say act as if you have it now and talk to yourself like you have it now. So your mindset will get into, hey, I already have what I have as you're working forward to it.
That's it. And Michael can talk to you about maybe, I don't know, whatever you guys do about being on the call with you, and he can listen if you want and help you, or you can be on calls with him if he can do that. By the way, Michael, wherever you are, the screen keeps moving. I'm not volunteering your services. I'm just making, because you have a gift right here. Michael is a hell of a. How many calls would you say you've made in all your years, Michael?
Geez, I mean, if I had to calculate it, I don't know,
Yeah.
maybe 250,000 at this point.
Did you hear what he just said, Brooks?
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at you, not the screen. I want to see your face. Did you hear what he said? I would
Yeah.
have thought 30, 40,000. I had no idea he was going to say 250,000. Like, all right, do you think he gives a hoot if somebody tells him get lost?
No, not at all.
No. And when we can get you to that point and you can make 70, 100 reach outs a day, that goal of yours, where'd you go? Now you're down to the bottom of my screen. That goal of yours, Brooks, will be achieved and you will reach those levels that you want to reach for you personally because you want to do it. Don't even do it to prove it to yourself. Just do it to do it
Yeah.
because you can, because you're worth it. Does that make sense?
100%.
Good. Good. Any questions or comments from anybody? Gloria, Annie, have you, I see it's been muted and no faces. Are you even able to hear all this?
Yeah, Gloria just has a bad connection, so she usually just connects with audio. One
Okay.
thing I did notice though, and I'll mention this, guys, is each week Darshan is connected with someone individually on the team, right? And that's what happens with these types of personal development calls. So don't feel like you're being called out, you're being called up. There's a reason for that connection, and there's a reason why you're on the call today, right? So I want people to understand that because there's been times where I've been on the call, right? And even with our founders, where Meredith has spoken directly to my heart, and it's just been like, ouch, like really, Meredith, you had to go there, you had to cut me that way. And it's just, as human beings, we have that ego, right? And that's all it comes down to. It's an ego that it can either help us or hurt us. What you allow it to do is up to you.
You said that very well, Michael. Here's what I say about the ego. Two things. I created a girlfriend for it. I called it the she-go. Let them get together and have fun and don't worry about me. And whenever I get that like ego thing, I'm like, thank you. I got this. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for trying to help me. Leave this one to me. And that's something you can do also. Brooks, I think it wasn't it you we talked about like 3 weeks ago was it 3 weeks ago going to the gym?
Yeah, it was.
Did you ever go?
So I went to Los Angeles that next, like a couple days later.
Yeah.
And I did go to the gym to work out with the trainer and my fiance because she worked out the trainer. And because
Yeah.
I didn't have a California license, they didn't let me work out. So I accepted that, which I probably should have figured out another way to get it done. But yeah, I kind of said,
Where
oh,
do
this is
you
a
live?
sign.
Do you live now?
I live in Maine. I used to live in California, but I am moving back to California
Okay.
so
Okay. So when are you moving?
next couple of weeks or so. I already have a place. Just
Okay,
getting all the doctors switched over and whatnot. So,
I got you. Okay.
and there's some fear there again of leaving Maine. So, you're getting all that out of me today.
Your fiance lives with you or there?
She lives in California.
Okay. So the fear is leaving Maine. Why?
My
Just give me
excuse
the
me.
main things.
Yeah, my parents are here. My little brother's here. I like being with them. They're
Okay.
older. They're not older, but you know what I mean. It was nice spending time with them. It's hard to.
And your fiance doesn't want to come here to Maine, I mean.
No, no, way too
Okay.
cold.
Way too cold. I got it. Okay. So the fear of leaving them,
Yeah.
nothing to do with the fiance.
No, 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 no. It's stuff like that. It's just, I think I'm a bright spot for my parents and my brother.
You definitely are a bright spot. You're a bright spot for this team too.
Thank you.
And I thank you for coming back.
Glad to
I'm
be here.
glad you
I'm really
came
happy.
back.
I put aside that I'm not worthy and showed up.
Well, put aside that you're not worthy. Make some phone calls or reach outs. Just look, you've done 1 in 5 months.
Yeah.
Why don't you do 3?
Yeah.
Just 3. That's it. Do you have the ability to do 3? Even if
100% I
it's
do. Yeah.
I don't know if Michael's available, even if you need help, just do 3 where you actually have to talk to somebody.
Yeah. Not just no
Not,
answer.
yeah, not, oh, I made 1. No,
That's what I used to
three,
do at my last job.
3 substantive phone calls. Because whatever this is going on with perfection for you, if people see that you're not perfect, then it proves to you you're not worthy. We can deal with that again. We can talk offline if you want. Joe or Zippy, I guess, had to go, or if he's here, I don't see him. And you can ask Chuck if you want what it was like for us. But I'm happy to do that in one-on-one. It's amazing what happens. The whole point is, whatever this imperfection is, the only way to get through it on this, once you've seen it for what it is start making those reach outs and doing it over and over again until you realize, what the hell was I afraid of? Like, because you'll really get to a very deep point where you will change your mind and you'll go, oh my God. And you're going to California. Where in California are you going?
Los Angeles.
Okay. So there's money in Los Angeles. I mean, all the fires and all the other stuff that have gone on. And boy, has California changed a lot. But there's a lot out there. And people are, what's cool about LA is that people are themselves. You go just be yourself, just be the incredible human being you are. And you care about these people that you're helping. And you know how many people you're gonna help once you get through this I'm imperfect stuff. I'm stuck on imperfect. I know it's got something to do with that. When you get through that, do you know how wealthy you're gonna become?
I know, and I know it, and I know I'm going to help people, and all my jobs I've had, I've loved helping people, and this is something that, when I finally clicked what life insurance was or anything, it was really like, holy crap, it's peace of mind while you're living, that your
It is,
family, your friends, whoever it is going to be okay. That's an amazing relief, and the
isn't
ability
it?
to bring that to people is incredible, and then to be able to meet your own financial dreams are great. I mean, it's a win-win.
Let me ask you all that everyone this, Brooks, you can answer to. Mr. Vigil, you can even answer. You This has happened to me all my life. When I care about people so much, sometimes I end up caring about them more than they care about themselves. And when I offer them something that can change their lives and it's for real and I know it will, and they don't take me up on it. When you offer people insurance that could change the entire trajectory of their life, should something happen, should he or she, whoever you're talking to, pass away, and they still say no, does that hurt you? Anybody?
Yeah. I mean, so, and Brenda probably can speak on this just as well, but like when you're in a leadership role here, right, you know what the potential is for everyone. And when you see people not take action on their own potential, it's physically, it's emotionally, um, draining, right? Like, because you're like, man, if you just use a tenth of the potential that you have, you can make such a big difference in your life and the people's lives around you and the people that you were intended to have a profound effect on as well. And I think that's where we miss the mark, is that we are not serving the people that have been put in our lives by not taking action on the things that we're supposed to do. And I think back on that all the time. Like whenever I've procrastinated or not done the things I'm supposed to do, it's like, whose life did I not affect positively today that was supposed to be affected positively?
I love how you said that, Michael. And and shifting away from not only not helping them, it goes back to you personally. Who didn't you help? It starts with you. You know, how many more people out of those 250,000, whatever, and all calls you've made, and maybe you could have made 350,000 by now. But the point is, when we are not helping ourselves, we can't help others. Do y'all see that? Do y'all hear that?
It's like the airplane thing. You got to put your own mask on first.
You have to put your own mask on, because if your kid passes out, or if you pass out, who's going to help the kid? You have to. By the way, when I say, can you just do 3? If you want to do 30, I don't care. The whole point about doing 3 substantive phone calls is, the first one, you're going to be nervous, really nervous. Second one, you're going to be somewhat nervous, I bet. And third one, you're going to be a lot less nervous. And you're going to say, you know what, I can do this. And you're going to let that love come through. I'm going to switch a little bit here off of insurance. You're engaged, is that right?
Yeah.
You have a fiance. Now, do you want to be the best husband you can possibly be when you do get married?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, everybody says that, right? I want to be the best. And then what happens? Life happens and they stop being the best. You know, how committed, Chuck, I think you'll appreciate this. Do me a favor, follow my directions exactly. I want you to be committed, be 100% committed to standing up.
100% committed.
Yeah, 100% committed to standing up. Go ahead, Brooks. No, not you,
Oh, me?
Chuck.
Oh,
me?
Yeah, Brooks.
I thought you said me
okay.
last.
Back that up.
Yeah, so I said you're gonna kick it. Okay, so
Oh.
you're 100% committed because you stood up,
Yes,
right?
I am.
Now, are you can sit that back down now. Thank you for that.
Okay.
All right, so be 90% committed to standing up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, okay, I can stand up.
Okay,
I get
so
where you're going. Like,
did you follow my directions?
I don't know, but I think you're pretty much saying like you either stand up or you don't stand up. You know, you can't
Yeah,
really
you either
be-
do or you don't. 90% is not 100. If you're 90% committed to standing, it means you're 100% committed to sitting.
Yeah.
If you're 100% committed, yeah, the light bulb just went on, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're 90% committed to your fiance, even if you say it's 100, if you're only 50% committed to you, then you're only, at most you can only be as 50% committed to her.
Yeah.
And the way to have an amazing relationship is to be 100% committed to you first. And then she's 100% committed to her. And then you can be 100% committed to each other. It's not 50-50 makes a whole.
I love that. Love that, Darshan. Too many people say that all the time. You know, they say that relationship is 50-50. It's not. It's 100%, 100%.
Yeah. And it's you always at 100.
And I'll take it even a step further, just because I'm a believer, right? It's 100%, 100%, 100%. It's a 3 braided strand. You know what I mean?
It is. It's perfect. I thank you again, Michael. I appreciate that. 100, 100, or 100 added. It's either way, God will give you everything no matter what. And if you give, where'd you go? I'm looking, there you go, Brooks. If you give everything you've got to yourself, if you get in shape for yourself, if you start making these calls for yourself, because California, Maine's not cheap either, but California ain't cheap. So you got to do something with this here pretty quick, right?
Yeah, no, the credit card debts keep going up and
Keep
it
piling
makes
up,
me want to
right?
vomit.
Good.
So
So
yeah.
let's get rid of them. It'll take a bit. There's no, Michael can speak to that more. And obviously it will depend on your level of action, which stems from your level of belief. I do a talk called Raising the Bar. BAR stands for beliefs, A stands for action, and R stands for results. So if you don't have the results you want, take a look at the action you're taking or not taking. And then what dictates the action you take or don't take? Well, that's your beliefs. Everything starts with your belief. And the first belief is to love yourself. The first everything is to love yourself. That is the foundation. Does that make sense? So if you want to, what's your fiance's name?
Maria.
Maria. If you want to be the absolute best right now, fiance, transition to husband that you can possibly be, that means get in shape, not for her, for you, so that you have more energy, so that you feel better about yourself. We talked about depression, right? When I'm tired. This is me with low energy because I was up most of the night. When you start eating differently, getting rid of the processed shit, and really taking responsibility for your diet and your exercise, your energy will be off the charts. It will be so amazing. You will get less sleep and the other morning I got up after 5.5 hours. I'm like, let's go exercise. And I biked 18.5 miles at like 5:30 in the morning because I was ready to go. Right. And so that's what I'm saying you'll be able to do. And that depression, when you get rid of the processed food, it's amazing what happens. And then I added fasting. So now I was fasting 20 hours, then I went to 21. Now I pretty much am 23 or even 24 hours a day. So I'll go the whole day and then I'll eat for like an hour. And then that's it. Like today, if I haven't tried it yet, like today I haven't eaten since 5 o'clock yesterday. Yeah, I can make it till 5 today. And I'm only almost 10 o'clock, not, I don't know, you're 12, almost 12. So I'm gonna try and go to 10 o'clock tonight. I say try, that's the wrong word. Let me be clear when I say try, and with this whole thing, let me be clear, because I always say do or do not, like Yoda said, there is no try. If my body starts shaking, then I eat. Even if it's not the whole, that would be another 5, would be 29 hours. The reason why is I'm going to do a comedy routine tonight, and a buddy of mine's going to come see me, and he was pissed because he had to fast because he has a colonoscopy tomorrow. I said, I'll fast in solidarity with you. So I stopped eating yesterday at 5. The comedy routine will end at 10. You get the idea. So but if I start shaking before that, I'll eat. But that's what I mean by try. Other than that, either you're going to stand up or you're not. I'm looking at the screen now, not you, because I just want to see your face. Either you're going to make those 3 calls at least today or not. Either you're going to start looking into your diet and what you can do to start cutting out the sugar, especially, oh my God, when I realized what sugar was doing to me. I'm going to look at the screen now, Brooks, but I am talking to you specifically. Sugar was killing me. The more sugar I ate, the sicker I got, the more sad I got, the more I craved sugar, which lasted an hour. And then I would go back to that cycle again. It was absolutely devastating. I mean, devastating. The very first day you cut out sugar, you will start to feel better. After like 24 to 48 hours with some people, if you have a little bit of withdrawal, whatever, and you don't have to go cold turkey if you don't want. I'm just telling you, you want to get rid of that depression, and sadness and whatever, it will go away when you change your diet. And if we stay in touch and I see you in 6 months, because we got one more week or whatever, I see you whenever, and you've lost, how many pounds do you want to lose?
I think 10 pounds is what my goal would be.
Okay. Um, you lose the 10 and then you'll want to lose more. I promise
Yeah,
you that.
I know that's what will happen, you know.
Yeah, you'll see that.
I still think
So
I want to be a
I'm,
linebacker, so I don't know why I still want that.
so when you lose the 10, you know how much better you'll feel about yourself when the scale weighs less?
Even when I lost 2 pounds before I got back on it, I felt amazing, you know. So I mean, I
That
can't imagine
too.
10 and then yeah.
And there you go. Cut out the processed stuff, the sugar, and watch what happens. And that's for everybody who has that desire. This is where chapter 3 of my book came from, about taking responsibility. And that quote, the moment you take full responsibility for your greatness, your magnificence, your pricelessness, and love yourself unconditionally and live that way without exception, that's when you end all of these internal struggles and once and for all live the life you've always wanted and have the life you've always wanted. The moment you do that, the moment you say, wait a minute, I am good enough, I am perfect, just as I am and just as I'm not. Thank you, Michael. He just wrote something in the chat. It's true. Just, Brooks, do you hear that? I keep
do.
wanting to read Barkov at the back. I don't even know who
Oh,
that is.
he's a Florida Panther. He's the captain of
Okay.
the hockey team.
I keep wanting to say that instead of Brooks. You are perfect just the way you are. You are perfect. You're whole. You're complete. You're lacking nothing. Everything about you is great. And when you get that, oh my goodness, watch. When you flip, let me see if I can snap a little. When you, whatever, when you flip that switch, watch what happens in your life and in your business. I mean, it will almost seem like overnight. And here's the point I want to make to Chuck, Jeffrey, Brenda, Michael, Armando, Gloria, and Annie. It's when you change the foundation of who you are to love, you'll start attracting the people that don't ghost you. Of course, you'll get ghosts, but when I say they don't ghost you, I mean you'll get a lot more people who hear your voice and they go, I've never gotten insurance before, and everybody else have hung up on, but there's something about your voice and I want to talk to you. Because they'll feel the love coming from, I'm pointing this way on the screen because that's where you are to me now.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
When I'm looking at you, they'll feel your love coming through the phone. Energy doesn't lie. Okay? When you come across with that energy, and my acronym for love, by the way, is limitless, omnipresent, vibrational energy. It's all energy. And when you come across with that, oh my goodness, people will feel it. Any other questions or comments about anything I've said from anybody? Thank you, Brenda. and thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. That was Michael Valdez, by the way, Michael Vigil. He was clapping. Brooks, anything you want to say? Chuck, anything?
No, I've got a lot to meditate on, which is great, and actions to do.
Actions is, yes. Take imperfect action until you take what you consider to be perfect, but don't let that, because by the way, not taking action is not perfect.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think 100%.
People say action, a lot of action makes perfect, and you can say that, right? Or perfect action, you could say makes perfect. There's no such thing. Just be the perfect you. And when these people love you because they feel you, even if they don't buy, you're going to feel good. But I promise you, and I'll close with this to everybody. You all, everybody, Annie, Gloria, Armando, Michael, Brenda, Jeffrey, Chuck, and me are in the life-saving business. And the call you don't make today is the call that somebody needed to hear. The action you don't take today because of the limiting beliefs you have, because you're afraid that somebody's going to tell you no. All right, I'm going to get it out. Are you ready? No. Wow, you're still breathing.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. No doesn't matter. It's this they're not good enough stuff. Has nothing to do with you. You're perfect the way you are. You're good enough the way you are. You are wonderful just the way you are and just the way you're not. And I thank everybody for your time this morning. This was deep and profound. And I'm happy and honored to have been here once again.
Thank you again, Darshan. I appreciate it.
Thank you.